Now, a multi-million-rand housing project in Tongaat, north of Durban, is causing a stir. Meant to make lives easier, residents who are being housed here are saying their lives couldn't be harder. Some of the units have no running water or electricity. Questions are being raised about the project, and eNCA's Lethiwe Mdluli is in the area and is talking to residents, and she joins us now live. Lethiwe, give me a bit of information of the plight of the residents living there in Tongaat.
Well, Maseko, I've been speaking to residents all morning since we arrived here, and their main concerns are around water and electricity. They say that they were moved here around 2018 and some were moved to these units in 2020. But when they arrived, their units did not have any running water or electricity. And of course, these are basic needs for them. And they are saying that they were promised that these housing units will provide the services. The municipality did say that they started this housing project back in 2017, and it was meant to be finished a year later, and 1,200 units were meant to be built within that time, but they've only managed to build about 250 units, and they have not finished building these units. Only phase one was completed, and we understand that there's 3 phases that are meant to be actually completed. As you can see from your visuals right now, the residents are also saying that the infrastructure is not that good, because when it rains, the water gets into their units. Some are also saying that the elderly were given flats and they are unable to access some of the bedrooms because those bedrooms are actually at the top of the flat, and the people that are now living there are unable to access some of those bedrooms, and they have to sleep in kitchens. But I'm right now joined by one of the residents, Sis Phindile Zungu, who's going to tell me more about the plight that they actually face on a daily basis. Sis Phindile, sawubona, and thank you so much for joining eNCA. Ngicela ungichazele ukuthi namuva nini and menifika la yiziphi inkinga nabhekana nazo?
Samuva ngo-2020 ngoFebruary. Ngathi mangifika la safika amanzi engekho, ugesi ungekho, kumnyama sisebenzisa ama-light, itofu zikaparafini. Bekunzima kakhulu ngoba bekukhange ivatet kan 3 days uthola ukuthi amanzi akafiki isizwe sowakhe emfuleni.
Ngicela ungitshela nangenkinga kagogo because uhlala nogogo right now, and ugogo akakwazi ukunyuka ngama-stepis. Menichazela labantu abanifaka la bathini?
Bathi befika bezongithatha kaStaramu, ngabachazela ukuthi ugogo ngeke akwazi ukungena estairs ngoba ukhubazekile. Bathi mangabe ukuthi indlu angiyivumi, ugogo unokwenzeka ngabe saphinda ayithola indlu. Kwaphoqa ukuthi indlu fanele ngiyithathe. Bathe bethi ekugcineni angihambe ngokwenza i-affidavit yokuthi indle angiyayivuma. I-affidavit ngangahamba ngayenza. Ngabona ukuthi kungcono ngixhumane nekhansela ukuthi ngiyacomplaina indaba yendlu ukuthi angigculisekile indaba yendlu. Because ngoba eze ugogo ulala ezansi akakwazi ukuya phezulu estairs.
Maseko, I'm also joined by the ward councillor on Ward 61 here in Tongaat, Doli Munyan, who's been trying to fight the municipality and get some help for these residents. I'm just going to bring her in and ask her about some of the efforts that she's been putting in to try and help these residents. Sis Doli, thank you so much for joining us. Tell us some of the efforts. What have you been doing for these residents? What are they telling you as a ward councillor?
I spoke to the project manager in Maboni. Several emails were sent to her asking for updates and even asking her what protocols are followed for those old and disabled people, rather than putting them on the flat, giving them the houses that they are freestanding. I was then said, the community then said, me, councillor, we were said, if you don't take this house, we must do an affidavit to say we don't want the house. So end of the day, the community wants an RDP house. They were forced to take it. My question again went to Maboni, can we resolve this issue? What are they being done? Right now, we've got 20 plus odd houses, that's freestanding houses, and you cannot find one disabled person there. I want to thank the leadership for the DA, the human settlement that's been here. Zamani, his friend Kolisile, as well as our deputy leader, Billy, that's here, to assist me taking this forward with the municipality officials, because I tried and I tried. As for electricity, just before election last year, they came, they make sure they put the polls telling the people that they're going to get lights. from then till now, there's no movement. There's not even a chance of getting a prepaid meter to these people. And if you look at this, behind me there's an house there that was satellite, and the lady that was upstairs couldn't come down because she was over 80 years old. And when I visited her the next morning, she was still panicking, and I asked the people, a family, to get her downstairs to get her hair to her because the room was already full of smoke. An humble appeal is made to eThekwini. Please, let's focus on the basic service deliveries for these people. As for the lady that's moved to this bottom flat, doesn't have running water to her house, I had to get JoJo tanks. There's 7 JoJo tanks in this 200 houses. But that's not sufficient enough, because they said me if they got 5 people and it takes them 1 5-liter to flush their pan. So can you imagine if they pull a 25-liter water from the JoJo tank? That old JoJo tank water is just going for them to flush. It's not healthy.
Dolly, there's another problem here that I want to bring in. The matter of some houses, people living in those houses, but they're actually not on the list. They weren't supposed to get those houses.
When I asked Moboni, well, give me the database, and we cross-checking it, we find people are not from the area that's in the houses, and then you've got these houses that are being rented. Some of those freestanding houses right now are being occupied from people that we don't know. They're not from local, either the 3 informal settlements, namely Zomakosle, Imona Sanil, Zomakosle, Sitaram, and Firehouse. So where is the common knowledge if we say these RGP houses are for the people from this community, but they are not benefiting? And the old people are not benefiting. You find all youngsters are in these houses.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
So that is Dolly Munyen, who's the ward councillor on Ward 61, just basically elaborating some of the efforts that she's been trying to do for these residents. As you heard, no water, no electricity, and the residents are also pleading with the municipality to provide them with the adequate housing, because the infrastructure at the moment is not that great.